I had testicular cancer. It was metastatic. It went all the way into my lungs. I had hundreds of tumors all throughout my body. I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I was on oxygen. I lost myself completely, my entire identity. But I was so far gone, and I was in zero control. And they said 3 days, a few weeks to live. But I said, that's not going to be me.
Welcome to the Rock Bottom Podcast, presented by Jigsaw Health, where we share health horror stories that inspire. Today's guest is a former pro hockey player, Joey Raats. In his early 20s, Joey was diagnosed with cancer and given 3 days to live. He fought back with everything he had, combining Western and naturopathic medicine, his faith, and unwavering support of his wife to find his way back to health.
Before we dive in, just a quick note. This podcast is for informational purposes only. It is not a substitute for medical advice, so please always consult with a healthcare professional before making any changes to your health routine.
This is the Rock Bottom Podcast.
Well, Joey Raats, welcome to the show. First question, Raats, is that your real name?
That's my real name.
Raats. You were saying that your grandparents are Dutch and it's pronounced over there Raats, but you just go with the full Raats.
Yes.
Second question, the tooth. That's from hockey or hillbilly?
That's from hockey. I mean,
how did you break your tooth?
Being up in Montana, like some would say, well, that's a hillbilly. But in hockey, it was actually an ASU alumni game after our season from last professional season. And I was driving the wall, cut to the middle, and one of my teammates was like, which way is he going? And kind of just like, we just collided. My tooth went right into his chin. I lost it right away, just chipped right away. And I was looking all over the ice. I thought I lost chipped more than just one tooth. And sure enough, I come back to the bench, tooth in my mouth still. And yeah, first tooth fracture I've ever had in my entire hockey career.
At an alumni game, not even an NHL game with that, the playoffs are on the line or something. Just an alumni skate around, buddies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my skating has allowed me to not have many tooth injuries and being able to get out of the way from shots coming from the point.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, it just happened. And but I mean, I've been rocking the look for a little bit now.
You know what? I kind of like it. It's kind of like, you got a story behind that, and you do, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So, Joey, you played in the NHL for how many seasons?
So I haven't played in the NHL. I played in the ECHL, which was the farm league of the NHL, one with the Utah Grizzlies.
Okay.
They're affiliated with the Colorado Avalanche. And then this last season was with the Kalamazoo Wings. They're affiliated with the Vancouver Canucks. And I've also played overseas, top league in France, the Ligue Magnus, in Briançon, the Diable Rouge, and Gap Rapace. And I played in the top league of the United Kingdom for the Coventry Blaze. It's about an hour and a half outside of London.
Okay.
That's awesome. I don't know what any of that is, but it definitely sounds cool.
It's high-level hockey.
I know. I have never followed hockey, but the times that I have ended up watching it, I was like, this is really cool. I went to a pro hockey game one time. It was a long, long time ago, but it was fun to watch for sure.
And better in person for sure.
Definitely better in person.
Yeah, it's always better in person.
The fights, the hitting, it's just a good environment.
I mean, you're just like waiting for a fight, you know.
So, Joey, we met about 2 weeks ago when you and your wife came to the Firefly Seed Oil Free Farmers Market on a Sunday, and we just got talking, and I was there at the Jigsaw Health booth, and you started to talk about your story. And as you were explaining details and your wife was jumping in to help with details, I was like, stop. I don't want to know anymore. I want to invite you on to the Rock Bottom Podcast. So here we are today. I know you're excited to tell your story. You said when we were getting set up that there's a crew filming you, making a documentary about your story. Yeah. Let's kind of start from the beginning. How old were you when you started to notice some symptoms?
It brings me back to when I was in college. I started college at 20, and then when I was 20 years old, I started feeling dehydrated throughout my sleep. I would get dry mouth a lot, and I just thought that it was part of living in Arizona because it was a lot more drier. Previously, I played in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We won a Clark Cup championship the previous year, and I really just put everything into, well, this is just me working hard. There was times in practices and games I'd lose 10 to 15 pounds of water weight, and that was a red flag. Wow. I consulted my trainers and athletic trainers, and they said, that is not normal. And there was guys losing 5 pounds, but I just figured, I'm a hard worker. I put everything into everything that I do, and my training and everything that I do. I eat super clean, as clean as I knew. At that time, my parents typically bought organic foods, and as an athlete, you're always trying to put on muscle mass and maintain that weight throughout the season. So I was eating a lot of food, which and then drinking coffee, and it masked a lot of those symptoms throughout the day. But I would wake up drinking a liter to a gallon of water throughout the night, just because I was gasping for air and I had that
So you
dry
would
mouth.
wake up thirsty
I would wake up thirsty
in the middle of the night.
all the time, and it was hot out. We didn't use our AC too much in the fall, but I mind over matter. I just thought it was being in Arizona.
Yeah.
And because of all the hard work you do that most people don't. So, of course, most people don't experience these things because they're not doing what you're doing.
Right. Yeah. No. It was super confusing. I didn't feel the need to consult any doctors for being dehydrated when I slept. I mentioned it a few times, and the same thing for practices and games. Like, we trained hard. It was 6 a.m. every day. We'd have team workouts, and then right after that, we'd go to the rink and have a good 2.5 hour practice, and then we'd have classes throughout the day. So we'd come home, maybe get a little nap in if you had time. It would be like 10 minutes of napping at the pool. And then we would have nighttime classes, so 6, 8 p.m. classes, which that's another symptom. I was definitely a lot more fatigued at that time of the day. And so there was times where I caught myself like kind of dozing off in class, and I wasn't sure. I said, I got to be able to have energy for these classes. So, but yeah, right there is the first few symptoms.
Okay, so low energy, dry mouth. Now get us to what you told me, spoiler alert.
The critical point.
In the hospital with cancer, diagnosed with 3 days to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you get there?
How did you get to there?
Yeah, and that's it was crazy. So we came back from the UK, my wife and I. We weren't married.
How old were you then?
I was. It was May of 2022. So I was 24.
Okay.
Or 26. Sorry.
So graduated from ASU, playing professionally overseas.
Yes.
Okay.
And so my first year of pro was with Utah, and then I took a year off. Went home, played in France, took a year off, and then because of COVID, and then I played in the UK. My wife and I, we went over there, spent the season. Throughout that season, I was getting mouth ulcers, up to 20 at a time. And
describe a mouth ulcer.
So a mouth ulcer,
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, mouth ulcer is like kind of like a canker sore in the mouth. Mm-hmm. It's a symptom or a sign that shows that your body is failing. There's some problems lying underneath that I needed to fix, and I was hitting the steam room, the sauna. I was exercising a lot. We had practices, and I would work out after as well. And I would go into the steam room saunas, drinking turmeric, ginger, everything I could to get rid of these mouth ulcers. And I would just come home, and my sleep was a little bit off as well. This was during the season. I went to dentists, and they said that like mold wouldn't cause that, or anything wouldn't cause that, because that's kind of what we had red flags of right away. In the UK, it was very humid, and our place did have a bit of black mold that affected me. Mm-hmm. Sorry that we're going in a little bit of a different direction, but I just there's more symptoms along the way.
Yeah.
And when we arrived in Arizona from the UK, I was having this abdominal pain and lower back pain, and I put all my pain in those regions towards hockey because I was getting hit in the back constantly. I was a defenseman, being in front of the net and being hit often. Just I was like, okay, mind over matter. Let's just get through the game. And hockey players, we like to say we're pretty tough, so it was like I'm not going to let a little back pain affect me from playing the next game. It got to the point where I was in so much pain where like I've always been very driven and determined oriented to make money and provide for our family, and it got to the point where I was just in so much pain that my wife's like, we have to go to the doctor, and we just had so much on our to-do list that I was like, I'll go to the doctor tomorrow or next week. And once we went up to Montana to visit my family and go to my sister's track meet, I couldn't go, and we went to the doctor right away. They scared us, and they said that we think you have lymphoma. I was in the hospital for 3 days. They did biopsies on the tumor on my neck, which was about a golf ball size at the time.
When had you found that tumor, or the lump at least?
The lump was 2 weeks after we got back from Arizona.
Okay.
And I was running. I was doing all the exercise that I could. I didn't think it was cancer. We had no cancer in our family whatsoever. I wasn't even too aware of family and like friends that had it, so I wasn't too knowledgeable on people getting diagnosed and what kind of therapies or treatments that they have done. My wife, however, she's the angel of my life, and she helped me find a lot of these therapies, and I've met so many amazing people along the way that has helped as well. But yeah, so they biopsied my tumor on the neck, and they found a little gray area in one of my testicles, and they were like, we're not sure, but the only way that we'll know if it's cancer related is we have to cut it off. And so
Cut off your testicle.
cut off my testicle. And
Oh man.
and I'm in a ton of pain, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how is there no other way that we can find out?
You're 24 years old.
Yeah.
Just got married, planning to start a family, presumably.
Exactly. And
take us to that moment. Like, what were you thinking? Like,
we do a lot of help with cancer awareness in the hockey world, and so we're always praying, and we're always kind of giving our like, we're always fighting for others that have it as an athlete. And I just knew from that moment on is I got it. Like, this is the start of a fight. And with God by my side, and with my wife and family and friends as support, like, we're going all in, and we're tackling this journey. And so being in so much pain at the time, it really did take a lot on me, but I knew, like, I was willing, like, I needed to just bear down and work harder than I've ever worked in my life.
so did they cut off the testicle?
Yes, they cut off the testicle. They sent it in. They sent the biopsy of the tumor on my neck to the Mayo Clinic right away. This was all in Montana, by the way, so they shipped it down here, and they confirmed that I had testicular cancer. It was metastatic. It went all the way into my lungs. I had hundreds of tumors all throughout my body, all the way in my pelvic region, stomach, vena cava, aorta, kidneys. It was just riddled with tumors. And that's when they told me, like they don't know how much longer I have to live initially, because it could have been lymphoma, something greater that I just would not be able to recover from.
They said maybe you have 3 days to live.
3 days, a few weeks to live was my initial doctors telling me in Montana.
What was going through your mind at that time? Did you ever like just buy in and say, wow, okay, what do I want to do before that time is up? Or were you immediately like, no, that's not going to be me?
I did not like that's not going to be me. I knew from that time forward is I just need to put everything that I can into it, and I didn't know what that looked like. They gave me a treatment plan for VIP chemotherapy, and I knew that chemotherapy has killed a ton of people. It's one of the leading causes of death in the U.S. and I was very scared of what that looked like, but I was even more scared about what natural therapies would look like if I was to go that route.
What do you mean by that? You were more scared of natural therapies?
So when I was in the hospital, we had conversations with our oncologists, and they said people die from doing those things, and
Because they're not aggressive enough,
Such
basically?
as what? Like what was
like high dose vitamin C.
Yeah, okay, that's what- yeah.
and ozone therapy.
Yeah.
And so when the
they
oncologist,
said, so your oncologist said people die from that.
yeah, they said
Made
like
the claim,
last
yeah.
week one of our clients died from high dose vitamin C. So I'm thinking like, holy cow, there's no way around this, and chemo is killing me. I dropped 60 pounds after my first round of chemotherapy. I was 144 pounds.
Wait, you're skipping ahead. I feel like
Sorry.
to what you chose. And real quick, what is VIP chemo?
So VIP chemo is a certain type of chemo. There's 5 different products that
Okay.
they give you, and I was doing inpatient. So because of how vulnerable I was, and I needed more eyes on me, I would go into the Mayo Clinic for a week, and then I would take about a week and a half, 2 weeks off, and then they'd hit me hard again. And
That's
during
Mayo Clinic here?
the Mayo Clinic here,
Okay, yeah.
and during that time, it was so hard. Like I would arrive there mid-afternoon. They wouldn't start putting the chemo inside of my body until late at night. And even though I requested to be earlier, so they would start at 8 or 9 p.m. at night, hit me hard all throughout the night. And so I would not be able to sleep because they'd have to come in and change the chemos every hour in order. And then I'd be just absolutely miserable the week after because my sleep schedule was so far off. So as you guys know, sleep is one of the number one things that you need to be able to recover and repair your body.
Okay, backing up a second. So you're back in Montana. They say you can go alternative treatments or chemo, but you felt like
They scared you away from the alternative.
they scared you away from alternative. You were scared either way. I mean, you're in you're Sophie's choice here of 2 terrible things,
Yeah.
it seems like. So you went with like, I'll go the VIP chemo, let's do that treatment back in Arizona, back at the Mayo Clinic.
Yeah,
Is
so
that fact pattern
I
correct?
was never informed about the alternative treatments by the oncologist.
Yeah.
They were the ones at Mayo Clinic that mentioned that people die from doing those therapies.
Okay, so it wasn't the Montana
It wasn't
doctor. It was
Montana.
actually
Yeah.
Mayo. Okay.
It was Mayo.
But at Mayo, you started to get treatment. I guess your first week of treatment would have been really soon. Like you got from Montana back to Arizona quickly
So
and started getting treatment almost right away, correct?
yeah, there was a little bit of gray area. So I had a lot of complications between that time. I had a severe case of pneumonia, and that put me out hard. So we were also getting other opinions from other cancer facilities, and Banner Health, MD Anderson, and then
Did those
the Mayo
opinions
Clinic.
all align with the initial diagnosis?
They aligned with the Western medicine of doing chemotherapy. There's a few different chemotherapies that they recommended. One that was a little bit harder on my lungs, and if I wanted to ever play hockey again, they recommended to do the other option. But it was anywhere from 4 to 12 rounds of chemo, however many that it would take for me to recover. So the initial timeline was 4 rounds of chemo. I ended up doing 3.
Okay, and each round was you said about a week long?
Yeah, a week
With
long.
2 weeks off.
5 days long, and then a week and a half, 2 weeks off.
So when you checked into Mayo for your first round of treatment, that was how many days after your initial "you have 3 days to live" diagnosis?
So that would have been more than a few weeks. I was able to put it off for a bit, and just Vanessa, my now wife, she ordered me an infrared sauna right away. And the crazy thing about this is the infrared sauna like would actually burn the tumors in my body. Like I was in a lot of pain because and it was good. Like I knew it was working because the tumors, specifically those regions, were burning, and I knew
While you were in the sauna.
while I was in the sauna. So I was just
Interesting.
in there for a few hours a day, like trying the best that I could to keep this at bay. The tumor marker levels, they were growing exponentially, and the oncologists were like, these can just explode, and you would potentially not be here today if you don't come to do the chemotherapy right away. But I was trying to get as much information as possible in that short period of time.
Yeah, you didn't want to just jump into something. You're like, let's do a little more research before. I mean, it's a big decision.
It is a
obviously.
huge decision.
So,
But the clock is ticking.
and you think that the
big time.
infrared sauna bought you some time?
The infrared sauna definitely bought me some time, and yeah, it was a very scary moment, and I really just wanted to explore every option because I knew the consequences of starting such a scary treatment. And yeah.
So you're getting chemo treatments in the middle of the night. It's throwing your sleep off, and you go home and you try to recover for the 2 weeks, get your sleep back on schedule, just in time for you to go get another treatment and have that mess you kind of up again. So on top of not feeling well from the chemo, you weren't getting the rest you needed either.
Exactly.
When did you feel like you started to come out the other side with this?
Oh, so I, with me losing so much weight, I was in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk. I couldn't talk. I was on oxygen, and I lost myself completely, my entire identity, and I would really just stare at the wall for all day, many hours of the day, and I wasn't able to have conversations. I had zero intuition about what my body needed, what my body didn't need. The doctors told me to just eat whatever and anything from McDonald's to just getting food in my body. And I intuitively knew that's not the case. Just because I knew how beneficial like good food is for your cells and for your body to be able to thrive and heal and recover. And so that was kind of like the first flag that went up, and then I was looking more towards alternative resources. The alternative resources like ozone therapy and high dose vitamin C, when I did that later on after the chemotherapy, it gave me energy, it gave me hope, and it gave me a little bit of comfort knowing that things are going to be okay. I was able to walk out of those treatments with a pep in my step and know like you know what, like we got this, you know, with my faith in God and with my wife by my side. I knew things were looking up, but initially I was just in so much pain, and I was so far gone mentally and physically. Everything in my body was failing me, and I smelled like a dead body in our condo. It was really sad. But these alternative treatments helped me find hope and find light, really. It took multiple, like I have a huge daily routine, and I've experimented and trial and errored so many different other treatments as well that I still do to this day to live at a tent.
Yeah. So to go back to the timeline a little bit, you did 3 treatments with Mayo, And each treatment was about a 3-week, 1 week on, 2 weeks off. So that's about 9 weeks of treatments with
Yes.
Mayo. And that was a very dark time, as you said. Couldn't walk, couldn't talk, staring at the wall, basically. But when did so I assume high dose vitamin C and ozone therapy, you started to use both of those?
Yes.
When did you use those?
It was
So after those 3 treatments?
Yes, it was about 14 days after. So with chemotherapy, and you guys may know this already, it's a very oxidative treatment to a very high extreme, a lot more aggressive than natural therapies, and you don't want to oxidize the body too hard, or that's how you could not make it. So we made sure that we were
basically rust.
Yeah.
Like rusting. I mean, the thing that they always say about chemo is that they're trying to kill the cancer before they kill you.
Exactly.
For the patient.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of the common saying here. So you started to do 2 weeks after your 3rd chemo treatment. Did you get any scans, or like what after your 3rd? Like I guess what I'm trying to help understand is how the chemo did something. It almost killed you, but it also killed off all the cancer, most of the cancer.
So it did.
What did your doctors say? What did the doctors at Mayo say?
Yes. So it was actually a blessing as well. The Nerf football sized tumor on my neck actually decreased in size completely.
Wow, it got to be the size of like a Nerf football.
Yeah, and we can show you pictures of it.
Wow.
Vanessa actually got pictures when it was about 50% decrease, but she didn't want to take pictures when I was so vulnerable. Like, let's document this now. Like,
yeah, sure.
Every day was such a fight. But yeah, so they
doctors at Mayo were saying basically what?
Oh, they wanted me to continue doing chemotherapy, and I intuitively I couldn't do it anymore. I because of the way my health was going and my ability to do things and just function on a day-to-day basis, it was going downhill, and I thought I was going to die if I kept doing it, and so I wanted more time before they hit me again with another round of chemo. It was so aggressive on me that it was so hard to persevere.
So specifically, you did 3 treatments, but they wanted to keep going, and you said we got to push pause.
Yeah.
Because you were almost dead.
Yes.
So then, is that when you found the high dose vitamin C and
Yes. So
ozone?
we consulted a naturopathic doctor, and they created a treatment plan for me as well, and then I started doing the high dose vitamin C, ozone therapy, insufflation, ozone therapy, intravenously.
Yeah.
So
high dose vitamin C. Do you recall how much you were doing? How many grams?
yeah, it was 100 grams
100 grams per visit.
per visit. It would take about 2 hours.
Okay.
And how many visits a week?
2 to 3 times. I would
Okay.
alternate every week with the ozone.
Yeah. And then ozone is where they're pulling blood out, right?
Yep.
And then injecting it with ozone and then putting your
Which is
blood back in.
Oxygen, essentially.
Oxygen, yeah.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And I would do intravenously and then insufflation as well. So
What is that insufflation?
So
I haven't heard that
insufflation, you can do it rectally, vaginally, ear insufflation,
Okay.
nasal insufflation. You cannot breathe it in because you can't have it in your
the
lungs.
Yeah. So, okay. So a lot of vitamin C and a lot of ozone. And like you said, how many treatments after you started to feel better, a pep in your step, as you said?
I would say like almost instantly.
Wow.
Like I was still very weak and vulnerable, but it gave me energy, way more energy than I had. So as you know, like I was so cold just because everything was failing me. I would sit outside in the heat in August, and that was the only place I felt comfortable.
Yeah. Which in Arizona, Phoenix, Arizona, in August is like 115, 100,
Yeah.
10.
Exactly, and it felt normal to me because I was so cold.
The sunshine was actually probably really good for you too.
Oh,
Actually,
the best. It's such a huge part of my daily routine now, and going on morning walks. It was tough to walk, obviously, but I would just like try to get in the sun as much as possible. So that was a good intuition. Being in the sun, yeah.
And so you started to feel signs of life in yourself as you were starting these natural remedies. Did you add anything in addition to those two things, or did you just keep doing the ozone and the vitamin C for how long?
Yeah, so I've done a plethora of different alternative methods, hyperbaric oxygen chambers. A lot of the cancer was in my lymphatic system, and so the walking and then rebounding, the plates, doing the shake plates, those all help a ton. I would have lymphatic massages. Red light therapy was amazing, and then hormesis, which is like heat cold therapy, was amazing. What you put in your body's a temple. So everything that I put in my body, my wife would prepare for me, and we would juice weekly to make sure that we were getting the nutrients that our bodies need. And then
what were you juicing?
anything from celery to carrots, apples. I kind of stayed more towards the vegetables and not as much sugar initially because the cancer was so bad that it ate anything. And now, like, I've recognized that as this journey has gone on, that it was a lot easier for me to eat fruits and natural sugars. And so we definitely don't eat anything that's bioengineered or like a lot of synthetics. We keep out of our diet. Anything that's hard for the body to digest. It's kind of just try to keep it as real as possible, the way God intended.
Yeah.
So we live by the Bible every day, and we eat the foods that God preaches us to eat. And but yeah, initially I started keto. Fasting has been a huge part of our regimen as well, intermittent fasting, and then I would do 1 to 3 day fast every single month, which was very beneficial for me and
Just to kind of reset your system and
yep,
go into a state of
autophagy.
Yeah, autophagy. I was like, it starts with an A. Yeah, I've heard that's extremely beneficial for just like cellular turnover.
Yeah, no.
How long did you do vitamin C and ozone?
So vitamin C, it was about half a year that I did that consistently. And as you know, natural medicine is so expensive. So we've gone into a lot of debt, and we still have a lot of debt, medical debt from that. Insurance companies don't approve that, and it's scary and it's tough. A lot of people don't know about it because it's not approved. But we now do vitamin C drips a few times a year. And then we have one of our naturopathic doctors was like, why don't you buy your own ozone machine and medical grade oxygen and do it yourself. You've been doing it long enough, which I don't recommend anyone to just do it on their own right away. But we still do that.
How often do you do ozone?
I would say once a month. And
would that mean you'd at
maintain.
home have to do your own needles?
No, so I do the insufflation.
Okay.
Whether it's ear or rectal insufflation. But it's crazy how good ozone oxygen is energy.
And it's so popular in Europe. Like it's very standardized. At least that's my understanding. Like ozone
100%.
therapy is very standard in Europe.
So if you go through the ear, can you tell me what that is like?
Yeah. So
The only one I'm familiar with is when they take your blood out and infuse it
blood,
with.
So the ear use a stethoscope, and it just attaches to the ozone generator. And what you want to do is you put a fan blowing towards your face so the ozone doesn't get into your lungs. and it just blows past the ozone backwards, and you just have it sit in your ears for 15 to 30 minutes. But it gets into the system, the body, and it helps with brain fog. It helps with any sort of ozone. We're huge believers in it. My wife, she actually started a business. She creates ozone salve, so it takes 3 to 4 weeks of insufflating these oils, and you can put it on topically. The science behind it is amazing, and next time we'll definitely have her on it to elaborate. But
Is there anywhere people can find it right now?
yeah, so we have a website called Bio3Ozone.com, like Bio3, but
The number 3?
Yeah,
Bio3Ozone.com.
Bio3Ozone.com. So we're constantly in production for that, and it's we just started it. We got our business and got all of that up and running, but our website developers working on all of that right now, and we're super excited.
Congrats, that's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, and all the credit to her. She's put so much love and everything that she does. She's just a super creative human being, and I wouldn't be here today without her. So it's really exciting, and just sharing others that there's hope no matter what, and you can use this on anything from little cuts to scars on your body. You just put a little bit on. It's topical. So
I can't wait to check it out.
yeah, we'll give you guys some.
Let's go back to Mayo.
Yes.
Or rather, let's not. It sounds like
You never
did
went
you ever
back.
go back?
I would go back for blood work and CT scans.
And what did they? Hey, Joey, you haven't been coming to get your treatments. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, so-
but although also you look a lot better. What are you doing?
Exactly. So they
How'd that conversation go the first time you went back?
it was they were like your ranges are better than most of our clients here. And
go figure.
And they're like but the book still says, and they called it the book, to do another round of chemo. And so that was pretty much the end of me going back to Mayo Clinic. I ended up getting a new a primary.
Did you think about it? Did you think maybe I should do one more, or were you so sold against it?
Well, after my experience with the foods and them recommending me to eat anything, a few of the oncologists that were the primary oncologists on my case, they mentioned, they're like, you wouldn't be here if you didn't have that lump on your testicle. I had 0 abnormalities on my testicle. So a lot of these red flags made me think like they might not have my best interests. And so I just seeked other help. I found a family physician that would put in CT orders and blood work, so that I could stay on top of it. I had a few naturopathic doctors that had all of my information and took really good care of me. So it was just really I haven't really been back to Mayo since that time.
Do you feel like if you hadn't have made that decision for yourself, that you would still be here today? If you had just kept doing the treatments, the chemo,
to be honest, I believe I wouldn't be here today, and it's a huge statement. But I was so far gone, and I was in zero control. I had zero intuition on what was good for me and what wasn't good for me. And
except for you had enough to say, I'm going to do something different than this.
Exactly. And I tell people I don't regret doing chemotherapy because my story and I'm able to help others that have gone, that are doing both, or need that understanding on what it can do. It definitely reduced those tumor sizes instantly, which was another hope indicator, right?
Sure.
If it didn't work
Specifically, like the Nerf-sized football on your
exactly.
So that the Nerf football on your neck didn't start going down until the vitamin C and the ozone.
So the Nerf football on my neck started with the first round of chemotherapy. And
It got bigger with
Smaller
chemotherapy?
it got smaller.
Okay.
And so that's what I'm saying is it gave me hope.
Maybe it gave you just kind of the big first push that you needed.
Exactly, the big first push that I needed, because I was pretty much having seizures on the hospital bed because I was in so much pain, and it was just like I was looking for any help possible, and that's why I chose to do chemotherapy, because I've always relied on it. And I've broken 14 bones playing hockey and just being a reckless kid. And I've relied on. There's so many great things that we have at our fingertips with CT scans and X-rays and everything that, like, Western medicine is a blessing in disguise. I wouldn't have been able to find these tumors, and I wouldn't have been able to find the condition that I was in if I didn't have these resources at my fingertips. So I'm so blessed for doing both. I have zero regrets with doing chemotherapy. The only thing that I wish I wouldn't have done is getting my testicle removed, because with the mindset and everything that I know now, I know I didn't need to have that removed. And but it's a part of my story, and I'm here today.
But you still got to keep one, right?
I got one.
That's right.
Yeah. So,
This is such an interesting story. When you were told 3 days to live, one of the questions we like to ask is, on a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being the worst and 10 being the best,
I was
where
a
were
1.
you at?
I was a 1.
You were a 1.
Yeah.
And once you started to, I guess just where you're at now, like
On a regular day.
regular basis, scale of 1 to 10.
I'm at a 10. And it's crazy. That's an unbelievable question, because every single month since my initial diagnosis and being in the hospital has improved, mentally, physically, spiritually.
Yeah.
I've just embodied so much more, and I've learned so much more, and it's honestly, this journey is so amazing, and I'm so blessed to the path that God has put in place for me, because I've learned so much, and I've learned so much about my body. My intuition is there. It's so cool to be able to recognize foods and things that you put in your body that make you feel good, and be able to see life at a different perspective. So it's been a fabulous journey, and every month gets better. It's really, truly amazing from where I was at.
If you could, if you wanted to write a book, what would the title of your book be?
Yeah, so my
or in your case, maybe this could be the title of the documentary. I want to ask you about that, but what would the title be?
So my wife, she actually she's super creative, and she got a domain name called What Diagnosis. And because my family, we had no cancer history whatsoever in my family, so it was just so rare for me to be in this situation. And so she bought the domain name What Diagnosis, and I think that just relates to my story so much. Like, what diagnosis, where did it go, and just living the life that we know now is I'm so like, God has a plan greater than we'll ever know, but with the things that we know, like, we're never gonna be in this situation ever again. Cell by cell throughout our body is we're learning new things every day, and we're providing nutrients, and just caring for ourselves on such a higher level, such a higher, more intuitive level. Knowing what's good and what's not good for you.
What percentage of your journey would you say is a spiritual one?
Today, I would say 100%. There was times where I was so far gone that I didn't have the capability to really put in my faith that I have now. And it's really like, when I was starting to get better, I was able to finally surrender. But during the hardest times of my recovery, it was a full-on sprint. I felt like I was running as hard as I could, 24 hours a day. It was, with the chemotherapy, I was in fight or flight mode 24/7. And Breathwork is such a huge
your body can't do its natural job of repairing when you're in fight or flight.
Yeah.
All of the energy, all of the blood goes to the extremities because you're ready to go, right? You got to run from that tiger. And so it's basically poaching all of that energy and blood from your vital organs. And when
Exactly.
you're in that for a prolonged period of time, the body does not thrive.
It does not thrive at all. And so ozone therapy, going back to that, it was such a huge factor in my recovery. But not only that, the hormesis and the heat and cold, I would do Wim Hof for a
Breathing.
few hours every single day. And I would do other breathing exercises. It got to the point where I could hold my breath on an exhale for 4 minutes because I was practicing breathing techniques so much.
Wow.
But there's Buteyko and there's carbon dioxide therapies that you can take to help your body redistribute, to raise your body's pH and alkalize your body so that your organs can thrive and be optimal. So with going back to the food as well, with the nutrients, it was so hard for me to because even eating fruits, the sugar, my body would still find those natural sugars, and it was tough. It gave me aches and pains, and then once I started getting a little bit better, I was able to go through that. But every time I ate something that might have pesticides or herbicides or glyphosate on those products, my body would recognize it right away, and then I'd have to do an hour to 2 hours of breathing. Breath work exercise. And why I say breath work is you have to go all in with this breath work. You have to make sure that you're penetrating those tissues with oxygen, and then allowing your body to recover.
When you say your body could recognize that you had eaten glyphosate, how did that manifest?
It was, I mean, my wife, she really told me that I needed to be hyper aware and be super intuitive with what I eat, and because of, and I want to give credit to the chemotherapy for knocking me down so hard that my tissues and organs were so vulnerable that they were also so sensitive. So anything that I put in my body, I could eat fruit that had herbicides, pesticides on it, and my body would let me know almost instantly that
Would you have like a pain or?
with aches and pain.
Wow.
And I had problems with digesting those substances, and so I would have to really put my body into overdrive with breath work to be able to just digest that food. And I mean, it's such a blessing that I was able to find that.
Yeah.
You also mentioned the word surrender a few minutes ago. I wonder if you could be more specific about that. Was there like a point? Was there a moment? Come to Jesus, surrender. What did that mean for you?
Yes, I was in Montana, and the hormesis, doing the cold and heat therapy, is such a huge part of my daily routine. And I was listening to an Audible book. It was giving me all the statistics of cancer patients and all types of cancers. And I was, like I told you before, I was in that constant fight or flight. Like the cortisol was just skyrocketed in my body. I could not maintain my hormone levels whatsoever. And doing these breathwork exercises and being in the infrared sauna, I had this come to Jesus moment where I was like, I need to give everything that I have to him right now. And because I couldn't control my pain and aches and just getting rid of and getting on to the next day. And I was, that from that moment on, it was I just needed to give it all to him to surrender and to be able to persevere. And from that moment forward, I felt this weight lifted off my chest, and I was able to, like, I almost feel like I could breathe again. And I knew that things were going to be okay. It was day by day. It just made life so much, not easier, but I just knew that no matter what, I was going to be okay. And whether it was my time or not, I gave it to him.
Could your wife Vanessa tell a difference in you after that day?
Yeah, she
I'm sure.
definitely she brings it up at times. So I definitely think that she has, for sure.
It must have been an amazing feeling to feel that weight lifted at that point.
It was. I mean, it's hard to explain. And I've had other moments of with this health recovery, being able to breathe, I was there was times where I was only breathing with my upper chest and I wasn't fully maximizing my diaphragm. I was so far gone, right? Like that, I wasn't able to breathe. My wife would have me do breathing exercises, and I would bawl. I would cry. I was in so much pain, and I could not breathe at all. She'd make me put my arms over my head, and I would like hold my arm to like keep my arms up over my head, and I would just bawl, like cry, just trying to breathe.
Amazing. Well, you really have been through a lot, my friend, and it's so amazing to have you with us here today and thriving and smiling and drinking your Firefly coffee. We love that so much.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, you would have never guessed that you have been through the story that you have been through. I have really kind of one more question, but I know you brought some notes and some things you wanted to say. Was there any kind of points that we didn't ask or didn't bring up? Anything you want to share with the audience?
Yeah, what I really wanted to, and we've talked a lot about it right now, but there's no really single therapy that beat the cancer. It's in our systems being able to recalibrate from months to years, and then intuitive healing. Our intuition is the greatest thing that we have for our bodies, and therapies and everything that we have are tools, but intuition is your ultimate filter. So me being able to recognize that, and it was after chemotherapy, so it made my body so much more sensitive to the foods and made me a lot more aware, because the cancer thrived off of bad foods, but being able to have that intuition is what really got me to where I'm at today.
Thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah. Can you give an example of where your intuition helped you? Like, and I guess for the audience, we hear like, listen to your intuition, but what did that mean for you? Like, what's an example of how you felt your intuition? And is it just simply a feeling? Like, how would you describe it?
Yeah, I would say it's a feeling. It's an inner desire. It's you saying something may be good for you or not good for you, but it's all ultimately within you, and we can have better intuition by feeding our bodies cleaner foods without. It's tough to eat foods from our soil, but there are good foods. There are good fruits and vegetables and clean proteins that we can nourish our bodies with that will ultimately help us find that intuition. And before I was diagnosed, I had zero intuition. It was really hard for me to make a statement and just know, to really just know the right from wrong. Mm-hmm. So it's faith and persistence, consistency. You really have to dig deep and just try to nourish yourselves day by day with not really cheating yourself.
What other notes did you bring in?
So let's see here. I just want to, there's a few questions that I wanted to emphasize a little bit more.
Let's do that.
Okay. So for your question about was there ever a time you wanted to give up?
Yeah.
I was on over 200 milligrams of opiates a day. And this was, I was in palliative care. I had a pain pump.
Was this while you were going through chemo?
This was during chemo and before chemo.
Yeah, wow.
And so because of the tumors pressing against my vena cava, aorta, spine, and distributed all throughout my body, it gave me this pain that was unbearable. I was on
the back?
My back area. I was on the ground, bent over for hours of the day, just like I couldn't tolerate myself. I couldn't live in my body because of the pain that I was in. And this took away a lot of the intuition. This created me to. I mean, I was having hallucinations. I couldn't recognize my wife at times. It was bad, and with the pain, it just like it just took away that intuition, and created so many other problems in my body where my bowels weren't working, and as you guys know, you need to be able to have healthy detox pathways to be able to be healthy and survive. So these painkillers, I actually had a few near-death experiences. There's one instant where I was so anemic from the chemotherapy, I just dropped, fell down, hit my head, had to get ambulance to the hospital, ended up having concussion. And then this other one where I woke up one morning and I thought I was dead. Like I literally was sleeping. I woke up in a panic mode, like I thought I wasn't there anymore, and a lot of that contributes to the painkillers. Let's see. So, just learning to live, and a lot of people mention to me that I'm a miracle, but it's really a conversation between patience and faith. Every cell in me chose to survive, and now I listen and really just am so intuitive with what's going on in my body. Oh, so another one that I recommend is Zone 2 exercise. So there was I had a few tests done. My liver was pretty much like cirrhosis, where the liver can heal itself, but I had fatty liver and the levels were so astonishing. But Zone 2 walking, I wouldn't start doing a lot of these treatments till like 6 months to a year after I started walking 3 miles a day. And walking 3 miles a day incline in a Zone 2 heart zone, it allowed my body to start recovering. It got rid of the fatty liver and the visceral fat around my organs so that they could work more optimally.
And Zone 2 is like you can still hold a conversation. So
Yes,
it's not like you're panting or you're out of breath. It's
Exactly.
like a brisk walk.
Exactly. So walking is such a huge part of our daily routines, and whether it's in the morning or just getting to the gym, like they say 10,000 steps for a reason. So that was that's a blessing, and we keep true to that every day just because it's so beneficial to your health. With the sun, vitamin D is so important as well. Zero sugar, zero processed foods is what we try to keep true to every day, because it's the body is smart, and we ultimately know what's good for us. Yeah. No.
So the last question that I had was, I'm sure you've given a lot of thought to this. What do you think caused your cancer in the first place?
I don't know for sure how long the cancer was going when it first started. I know everyone has cancer in their body to the extreme, but it was a combination of stress. That's another question that I'm not sure if you mentioned. And this is an awesome topic. So when I was in, what time is it? Okay.
I know you've got a flight you got to
right.
catch. I'm tracking. We're at 11.
Yeah.
We're at 11 a.m.
Yeah. When I was
We'll wrap up in 5.
Yeah. Okay. When I was in college, I'll keep it short and sweet. When I was in college, I played Division I at Arizona State University, and the NCAA does drug tests every year for all athletes, and I was randomly selected to do a drug test. And by the way, like my whole life, I've been super always top shape on my team, or top 5 at least. I put in so much work in the summers. I'm training 3 times a day. I have personal trainers, and I just work so hard because I want to get to that. I want to be at the NHL level. Best, like hockey is, in my opinion, the best sport in the world. And so I put everything into this. I would wake up at 5, go to sleep at 10. Like just everything that I did every day was hockey, and I did a ton of due diligence on the supplements and what would be good for me. I wasn't too aware of pre-workouts. A lot of pre-workouts aren't the best, but I ended up buying this supplement online, and I made sure that it was cleared by the Drug Free Sport, which is for NCAA athletes. this supplement ended up testing me positive for a drug test that ultimately lost my full Division I scholarship.
Oh, no.
I lost my last year eligibility at playing D1 at Arizona State University, and I had NHL teams and other teams as a prospect, and it really, because you work so hard for something your whole life, and I initially appealed it. The substance was ostarine. It's a selective androgen receptor modulator. I had no clue what to expect. I went home and I just started researching. I was like, how the heck, what am I taking that might have this? It's got to be not true or whatever. So I had it appealed. They retested that urine and it came up again. So I was in so much stress. I mean, I'm 19 years old, or no, I was 22 years old, and I had just skyrockets of stress. There was times where I was driving and I just would catch myself not breathing. Being at that young age, you just don't really know like what kind of like effects that would have to you on your health, and I knew, and I was always so optimistic, and that's what really helped me throughout my cancer journey. But being optimistic, I knew there's two ways you can go. You could either just fold and just like give up on life, or you can keep going. And I ended up appealing the NCAA, had an hour-long conversation and speech to go over. I did lie detector exams. I did absolutely everything possible just to show that I knowingly did not put this substance in my body. And I was so aware of what I put in my body because I wanted to get to the highest level. So for this situation with playing hockey and also being aware of putting good foods in my body, it's just crazy how I could have gotten diagnosed with cancer. But a lot of cancer and health problems are inflammation related. It's
stress.
It starts with stress. It starts with inflammation in the body, and then if you don't get on top of it right away or supply the body the nutrients that it needs or take care of those nutrient deficiencies, then it just compounds. And so that situation is where I'd pinpoint the stress point in my life that could have ultimately started it. And then in the UK, the mold. I wasn't too knowledgeable about what mold could do to the body, and mold has a ton of lasting effects. So if you're not detoxing and opening up your detoxing pathways to eliminate that mold exposure, you're screwed. So that inflammation just skyrocketed in the UK, and then that's when I started getting the tumors in my body. I wasn't able to eat anything. I would sleep 2 hours a night maybe, but it was a very, very low amount of sleep that my body needed. And it was a very discomforting time in the beginning, like the worst pain of my life.
I believe it. And I'm glad it's behind you. And I'm glad you survived to tell the story of hope and inspiration. And thank you for sharing that story here with us on the Rock Bottom Podcast. Joey Raats, where can people find you to follow you online and follow the rest of your story?
Yeah, of course. So I have Instagram. When the documentary comes out, I'll obviously share your guys' podcast. But Instagram is Ratsy44. I have
Wait, spell that.
It's Raatsy. So that's my nickname, Ratsy.
Yeah.
That's what all the hockey boys call me, or they'll call me the Rat Man, Vegas Rat. I was born in Las Vegas, raised between Vegas and Arizona. So in hockey and sports, you get a lot of nicknames.
Yeah.
And so Vegas Rat is my Twitter handle.
Okay.
But you can find me on a lot of different social media networks, and
we'll include that into the notes as well.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay. Yeah.
This was a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending your time with us, and we look forward to watching this documentary when it comes out.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. I love everything that you guys do to provide for the public, and it's really about just healing every single day. You guys are so knowledgeable and so aware. Meeting you at the farmer's market and believing in those products that help nourish your bodies, the CMOS, everything that you guys have, and everything that you guys are doing today is what my wife and I thrive to do. So thank you for being being there for us and allowing me to share my stories so that we can reach others and just help everyone. You guys are doing amazing. Thank you.
Amen. Thank you.
Thanks, Joey.